and immense pleasure. I welcome you all. I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all present over here for the AICTE Training and Learning Academies 1 week faculty development program on sustainable change management in Technical Institute for National Education Policy 2020 implementation. I, Indrani Borkar, on the behalf of Department of Electrical Engineering, Government Engineering College, Bilaspur, welcome you all in the third day's first session. As yesterday's sessions were informative and insightful, the renowned personalities from academia have shared their valuable thoughts on NEP 2020. Today also, for the first session, we have Dr. Ravi Prakash Tiwari as a resource person. Prakash Tiwari is currently working as professor in Department of Applied Mechanics in Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad, UP. And BE degree in 1990 from MMM Engineering College, Gorakhpur University, and MTech degree in 1993 from Institute of Technology, BHU, Varanasi, in Biomedical Engineering. He obtained PhD degree in 1999 from Institute of Technology, BHU, Varanasi, and the title of the thesis is Three-Dimensional Kinematic and Dynamic Analysis of Below Knee Lower Limb Model for Artificial Design and Control. He has more than years of teaching and research experience. Also worked as lecturer, assistant professor, and associate professor in Department of Applied Mechanics in Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad. He has supervised several candidates in doctorate and master's level. He also was the part of testing and consultancy in various state government organizations, central government organizations, and public and private sectors. He has vast experience of administrations as well. He has published more than 35 research papers in various national and international journals. He has more than 50 papers published in conference proceedings in national and international levels. He is life member of ISTE New Delhi, Biomedical Engineering Society of India, and Institution of Engineers India. Various conferences, workshops, courses organized under his guidance. He also attended more than 25 conferences, seminar, workshop in national and international levels. He has 2 research projects in his credit. Today, he will be discussing on the topic challenges and solution in implementation of national education policy. We are fortunate to have him as a resource person in this session. I invite him for his address. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Indrani, for nice introduction. So first, the topic is challenges and solution in implementation of NEP 2020. So what is the current challenges in Indian education system? I will mainly concentrate on technical education. So what are the major challenges or major issues? Number one, there is a rigid separation of disciplines. This is mechanical, this is civil, no interdisciplinary or no multidisciplinary research with science and other streams. Narrow area of study, we focus on narrow area of study. Limited access in socio-economically disadvantaged area. Limited institutional and teachers' autonomy. Inadequate mechanisms for faculty career growth. Less emphasis on research and less funding for research in India. Less emphasis on industry institute and R&D lab interaction. Less focus on skill development and creativity and innovation. So these are the major challenges in Indian education system when we talk about the higher education system. So keeping in view the reforms in Indian higher education system, National Education Policy 2020 was brought by Government of India. So NEP 2020 satisfies a basic characteristic of a good policy document. It is nearly, the draft was very 484 pages long, but the final document in English is 68 pages only. So long-term plan as per the policy is to do away the current system of colleges to universities. Each college would become either fully integrated to university or converted into an autonomous and independent degree giving institutions. And independent governing board should come to the govern the each higher education institutions, whether college or university. Under NEP 2020, numerous existing colleges will be merged with the higher institutions of learning. Each HEI would come to have minimum 3,000 students, because in small technical institutions or higher institutions only 400, 500 or 1,000 students are there. So with each NEP 2020 final draft document, the policy document, each HEI would come to have minimum 3,000 students, and HEIs have to have freedom to choose the mix between research and teaching, whether they are going for only teaching, they are going for only research, or mixed teaching as well as research. So they have to choose their institutions and they have to focus on that. Full restructuring along with these lines will be a long-term goal. It is not possible. We have to identify our NEP cannot be implemented in a 1 year or 2 year or 3 years. We have to focus on the short-term goals, which will be from 1 to 3 years or 1 to 5 years, then medium-term goal, 5 to 10 years, then long-term goals, it is 10 to 20 years. We have to think like this, that what we can achieve or what we can do in next 1 or 2 years or 3 years, that is the short term goal. Next, what we can achieve in 5 to 10 years, that will be the medium term, and what we can achieve in long run. So we have to think like this. So full restructuring along with the lines will be a long term goal for NEP 2020 with deadlines is 2035. But the policy contains many low-hanging fruits that can be harvested in 5 or fewer years, as I have told you. These includes conversion of leading colleges into broad administered, autonomous degree giving higher education institutions, freedom for UG students to take courses of all disciplines, launching of 4 years bachelor's degree for in all higher education streams, opening India to foreign universities campus can be opened in India by top 100 institutions, global institutions. To promote vocational education. Vocational education is now a second grade education system, considered as second grade education system in India. So we have to promote this vocational education, which should be comparable with the technical education. And in this new education policy, not new, national education policy, vocational education will start from class 6 at the school level. So vocational education in colleges, curriculum and creation of National Research Foundation. I will show you some of the slides of National Research Foundation also. So government must draw a time-bound plan to implement these changes over the next 5 years. Starting point for bringing about these changes in higher education institution, for implementing this successful implementation of this national education policy, we have to go for the for the successful implementation of the national education policy, we have to go for the strategy first. Strategy roadmap means policy is there, so we have to finalize the strategy for implementation of the policy. Then for a strategy, we have to decide the roadmap for that strategy. And for the roadmap, when we have planned the roadmap, then mapping the resources. Resources means human resource, financial resource, and other resources for successful implementation of the National Education Policy 2020. So for this purpose, we all stakeholders should come forward for successful implementation of this National Education Policy. It is not only the responsibility of Ministry of Education or government or state government or central government. We all stakeholders. Stakeholders means faculty, student, staff, alumni, society, everyone, industry, everyone has to come forward and to go for this successful implementation of this National Education Policy.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, we are able to see only first slide, and
No, I am not. I am not coming to the slides right now. I am just.
Okay, sir. Then it is okay.
I will come to the slides after finishing the contents of this National Education Policy, because that is mainly focused on technical education. So I will come after that. Huh?
Surely, sir.
So,
thank you, sir.
So reforms in Indian higher education system is required, which is the mandate of National Education Policy. As you might be knowing, while early childhood to class 12th is the founding pillar of the holistic childhood development, but in higher education, a student equip a student for a professional life with the increasing need of creativity, which is the mandate of this NEP 2020, creativity, multidisciplinary and highly skilled workforce for employment. Indian higher education system needs to be readjusted and revamped to meet the emerging requirements. Some of the key reforms introduced by NEP 2020 in the Indian higher education system include, as I have told you, number one is the quality university and colleges. Recognizing the problem which are currently prevailing in the higher education system in India, which inter alia include poor employability of educated workforce, severely fragmented higher education ecosystem, poor learning outcome and development of poor development of cognitive skill of student, rigid separation of disciplines with too much early specialization and streaming of students into a narrow area. NEP 2020 intends to completely overhaul and re-energize the higher education system in India. So the NEP vision is that number one, moving towards a higher education system consisting of large multidisciplinary universities and colleges with at least one in or nearby every district. Moving towards a more multidisciplinary undergraduate education means their students may have flexibility to choose their courses from other streams like science, social science, liberal arts, etc. Management. Moving towards faculty and institutional autonomy, more and autonomy to the faculty and institutions. Revamping curriculum pedagogy, assessment of the student, support for enhancement of the student experience. Establishment of National Research Foundation to fund outstanding peer review research and to actively seed research in universities as well as in colleges. We are having limited access funds for research to the colleges. Now in this NEP 2020, more focus is to promote research in colleges. Not only a group 100 or 150 institutions are doing research in India, that should not be encouraged, which is the mandate of NEP. It must be, funds must be diverted to colleges also for research purpose. Governance of higher education institutions by highly qualified dependent boards having academic and administrative autonomy. Increased access, equity, and inclusion through a range of measures, including open schooling, online education, open distance learning, keeping in view the needs of the learner with disabilities, and substantial increase in scholarships at private universities for disadvantaged and underprivileged students also. So second thing is institutional restructuring and consolidation. This is important. This is in the NEP 2020. NEP 2020 basically intends to end the fragmentation of higher education by transforming higher education institutions into large multidisciplinary universities. This is very important. And each will aim to have 3,000 or more students. The idea for behind this is to build vibrant communities of scholars and PM students, and they students to become well-rounded across all disciplines, including artistic, creative, analyst, as well as sports. Develop active research communities across disciplines, means interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary research, including cross-disciplinary approaches, which is missing nowadays in India. And increase resource efficiency, both material and human, across higher education system. So we have to focus on multidisciplinary research institutions. All higher education institutions will move towards becoming large multidisciplinary institutions. Now, what is the mandate of NEP? We have nowadays technical universities, medical universities, law universities. This concept will be no more in next 10-15 years. We have to work in a multidisciplinary university. Like I was a student of Kashi Hindu Vishwavidyalaya. Pandit Madan Mohan Malvi established that university. That is also the medical college is there, engineering college IIT BHU is there, agriculture institute is there, science institute is there. So this is now the mandate of multidisciplinary institutions of higher learning. This is the concept or mandate of the NEP 2020. Means all institutions should be under one umbrella. There should be no separation, no separate medical university, no separate agriculture university, no separate technical university. This is the mandate. And it is not possible to go for huge investment and it is not possible for getting funds for all higher education institutions to become large multidisciplinary institutions in a year or two. What we can do, we have to start working in clusters. We have to nearby institutions like agriculture institute should come with the technical institute, and technical institute should come in and come in close contact and sign MOU with the science institute and you can say management institute. So initially there is a need to work in cluster with the institutions, educational institutions, as well as R&D organizations, as well as the nearby industries to fulfill the mandate of NEP 2020. So the vision is to have all higher education institutions to evolve into research intensive university. There are three things. Number one, whether you are going for opting for research intensive universities. Second, you are going for only teaching universities. Or third one is the autonomous degree granting colleges. There are three things. So in addition to teaching and research, all higher education institutions have to crucial responsibility which they will discharge through approach, resourcing and restructuring. These include supporting the other higher education institutions in their development, community engagement, service contribution to various field of practice, faculty development for higher education system, and support the school education system also. So it is the responsibility of the higher education institutions to support the community issues, contribute in the various fields of like faculty development for nearby higher educational institute, and to support the school education system for their development. Now, what is the third topic of this higher education as per the NEP? Shift towards holistic education with less focus on rote learning. It is proposed that the multidisciplinary universities and colleges will facilitate the move towards the high quality art education with flexibility in curriculum, engaging courses, optional being developed and offered to students. To ensure students actively engage with practical, more focus is on experiential learning in this NEP 2020. To ensure the students actively engage with practical side of their learning and to improve their employability option as part of holistic education. Students will also provided with the opportunities for internship with local industry, local villages in collaboration with district administration, business, artist, craftsperson, local community, etc., as well as research internship with faculty and researchers at their own or other higher education institutions or R&D organizations. Next key feature of this NEP 2020 in higher education is the internationalization. What is internationalization? NEP 2020 focus on promoting India as a global destination, providing premier education at affordable cost. It is thus intended that high performing Indian institutions will be encouraged to set up campuses in other foreign universities, other foreign countries, and similarly selected foreign universities will be permitted, nearly top 100 foreign universities, to open their campuses in India. So we have to frame a guideline for this also, because a legislative framework shall be formulated and introduced for that. Teachers education, which is also a very important part of this NEP. In engineering institutions or technical education, this teacher education is not very good. Teachers training or teacher education, you can say. So we need to focus on this also. Similarly, as I have told you, the professional education. There is nothing like professional education in NEP 2020. It is clubbed with higher education. So NEP 2020 professional education will become the integral part of the overall higher education, and thus it must also significantly involve critical and interdisciplinary thinking and research. The agriculture university, technical university, medical university type standalone universities shall be discouraged, and all existing standalone professional education institutions will have to become multidisciplinary institutions by 2030, either by opening new departments or by operating in clusters. There is nothing like that you start creating infrastructure immediately. You can start working in clusters also, as I have told you. The professional education standards, technical, health, and legal education are also proposed to be restructured to ensure the education standards to meet the global as well as the local challenges. Next important feature of this NEP 2020 in terms of higher education, promoting high quality research, reorganizing the importance of knowledge creation and research in growing and sustaining a large and vibrant economy and uplifting the society. NEP 2020 focus on a comprehensive approach for transforming the quality and quantity of research in India. Thus, to focus on research and to promote research culture in all higher education institutions and colleges, because we have a limited access of funds for the IITs and ITs when we talk in terms of technical institutions, but the government colleges or private colleges are not getting fund or not supported by government for their research work. So thus the focus is on research and promote research culture in all higher education institutions and colleges in an interrelated and coordinated fashion. NEP 2020 provides for setting up a National Research Foundation, NRF, which would bring a quantum jump in funding and support for research. The overall goal of NRF shall be to enable a culture of research in all universities and colleges of higher education across India. Now, one more thing. Transforming regulatory system of higher education system. Presently, the mechanism of the regulation is very complicated. So now, light but tight regulation. So there is more flexibility in the regulations. So these are the several features of the NEP 2020. So what are the, now we can say in brief, NEP 2020, where there is a need to work in a group or cluster, multiple entry, multiple exit, multi-institutional and courses and multidisciplinary courses. Credit bank transfer facility must be there for credit bank transfer system. Light but tight regulations by a single regulator, not by several complications like UGC, AICT, every approval is required. There must be a single regulator. National Research Foundation feature is there. Moving towards a multidisciplinary university and colleges, increased access, equity, inclusion through a range of measures. So these are the few of the features of the NEP 2020. Now I will come to the, when we talk about the technical institutions, what is the framework? What are the framework? Suggestive NEP framework for engineering degree programs. This slide is visible.
Yes, sir. But it is first only, first slide only, sir.
Now I am, yes, now I am starting.
Yes, sir.
So this slide is visible.
First slide.
First slide. The fundamental principle of NEP 2020, I have already discussed. Recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student by the, now the education will be student centric. Recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student by sensitizing teachers as well as the parent to promote each student's holistic development in both academic and non-academic spheres. Highest priority to achieving foundation literacy and numeracy. Flexibility so that learner have ability to choose their learning trajectories and programs and thereby choose their own path according to their talent and interest. That is important because in India, everyone want to become, every parent want that his son or daughter become doctor or engineer or advocate. But this is not the focus of this NEP 2020. So flexibility means the learner have the ability to choose their learning trajectories and programs. Counselors will be there for helping them and thereby choose their own paths according to their talent and interest. No hard separation between art, science, engineering, and other streams, between curricular and extracurricular activities, between vocational and academic streams, etc. Emphasis on conceptual understanding rather than rote learning on learning for exams. Creativity and critical thinking is the focus to encourage logical decision making and innovation. Ethics and human values, which is very important. Ethics and human values and constitutional values like empathy, respect for others, cleanliness, democratic spirit, spirit of service, respect for public property, scientific temper, liberty, responsibility, pluralism, equality, and justice. Promoting multilingualism and the power of language in teaching and learning. Life skills such as communication, cooperation, teamwork, and resilience. Focus on regular formative assessments for learning rather than the summative assessment to reduce the burden of exam and other things. Extensive use of technology in teaching and learning, removing language barriers, increasing access for the young students and educational planning and management. Respect for diversity and respect for local context. We have to think for the local issues, regional issues, national issues first when we talk about technical education or engineering education in all curriculum. pedagogy, and policy, always keeping in mind that the education is a concurrent subject. Full equity and inclusion as the cornerstone of all education decisions to ensure that all students are able to thrive in education system. And there must be synergy in curriculum across all level of education, from early childhood care and education to school and education to higher education, school education to higher education. Multidisciplinary and holistic education across the science, social science, arts, humanities, and sports for a multidisciplinary world in order to ensure the unity and integrity of all knowledges that will help in overall development of a student. Teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process, their recruitment, continuous professional development, constructive working environment, and service conditions should be there to improve the quality of teaching. A light but tight regulatory framework to ensure integrity, transparency, and resource efficiency of education system through audit and public disclosure, while encouraging innovation and out-of-box idea or thinking through autonomy, good governance, and empowerment. Outstanding research as a co-requisite for outstanding education and development. Continuous review of progress based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts. A rootedness and pride in for our country and its rich, diverse, and ancient and modern culture, knowledge system, and tradition. This is the root of the NEP 2020. Education is a public service. Access to quality education must be considered as right of every child. Substantial investment in strong, vibrant public education system means only it is not the response. Education is not only the responsibility of government. All, everyone, private partners, private business houses, industries, R&D organizations, everyone should come forward to support the Indian education system. Now I am focusing on the duration of the degree course as per the mandate of the NEP 2020. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are.
If
Yes,
in
sir.
case of any connection problem, or please let me know. Or
Sure,
sir is having my mobile number. So because when we are showing the slides, we are not able to know whether the internet connection is there or not. This
Sure,
is-
sir. We'll let you.
So duration of degree courses. So BTech as per the mandate of NEP 2020, 3 years plus 1 year research, 3 years plus 1 year industrial internship. There are two options: MTech 1 year plus 1 year research. Integrated BTech plus MTech and research program is also there. 3 years UG courses, 1 year research plus 1 year PG courses if you want to focus on research or go for the PhD or research. So 3 years UG, 1 year research, 1 year PG only. MTech is nowadays 2 years. So in this case, it will be 1 year. This is a proposal from our side. Now total credits, total number of credits, as we have discussing in various meetings, that 160 credit for BTech, 20 credits for BTech honors, or if you want to take minor means BTech in mechanical engineering, minor degree in civil engineering, or minor degree in computer science. This feature is also there in NEP 2020. So you have to plan your syllabus accordingly. 160 credits plus 20 credits for, if you are taking only 160 credits for 3 years, then only you will get BTech degree. 160 plus 20 credits from MOOCs or any other sources, then you will get BTech honors. 160 credits BTech major in core engineering as civil engineering, electrical, mechanical, plus 20 credits you are again taking, then you will get minor specialization in the emerging areas such as AI, machine learning, data science, blockchain, or any other, or automobile engineering or anything else. 160 credits plus 20 credits for getting BTech honors, plus 20 credits for means 200 total credits for minor specialization. So this way we can go ahead. Now credit bifurcation, I will show you. We have planned for a course for all 8 semesters. I will show you that slide also. Professional core, which is 60% of 160 credits, nearly 96 credits. Professional core will include domain-specific engineering science, professional core courses, professional electives, and open elective courses. This way, I am showing you these slides because this way we can plan for successful implementation of NEP 2020. Other courses will include basic science, social science, arts, humanities, sports, culture, cultural, for multidisciplinary world courses on Indian knowledge system and traditions is also compulsory for engineering education. Social outreach and extra social outreach means go and work for social causes or social challenges in villages or in nearby areas. And now there is nothing like extracurricular activities. They are the co-curricular activities. Project work, seminar, industrial internship or research project, 15% of 160 credit, 24 credits in the last 1 year of 4-year degree program. Now credit bifurcation for on-campus courses. You can see this we have planned. Similarly for MTech and other PG courses. On campus BTech 96, MOOCs you can take 40 or 20 credit for BTech honors. MOOCs BTech 24 credits, total UG courses 160 credit for only plain BTech, 180 credit BTech with honors, 200 credits BTech with honors with minor specialization. Again 180 credits for BTech in a special a core branch of engineering with minor specialization, major or minor. BTech degree in civil engineering, minor in AI. BTech in computer engineering, minor in electronics, like this. This feature is there. Any problem? Any issue? Please tell me. Now credit bifurcation for MTech or PG courses. On campus courses 30 credits, MTech, MOOCs and other 8 credits, MOOCs, MTech 4 credits, research project with research based courses 24, which includes research internships 24 credits, 6 for research based courses. Total 42 for PG courses and 30 for the research. Now suggestive revisions at BTech, the first year courses. The current content of first year is required to be revised, where it is suggested to physics, chemistry may be eliminated, mathematics may be reduced, workshop content is to be revised, advanced practices and branch introduction course shall be revised. Coding for all. Further, a compulsory course, theory and lab on computer programming languages for all students. The first year courses may be kept branch specific because there is a provision for multiple entry, multiple exit. So this for keeping this provision, you need to go for that. If a person or a student want to leave the course after first year, he can go and he can easily get the job. We have to plan the bridge courses or the other courses so that after 1 year, because in mostly first year we only go for the non-engineering courses and some of the 1 or 2 engineering courses. But that is we have to see the employability of the student in case of multiple entry, multiple exit system. So we have to plan. This is a big challenge because we have to think over it. How a first year student, after what courses should be there for mechanical student, what courses should be there for civil students or electrical engineering students, so that he can be employable or he can achieve necessary skills to get a job in the market. Now multiple entry and multiple exit. Multiple entry already having lateral entry at the beginning of second year in most of the engineering institutions from diploma courses, but this is different. In this NEP 2020, a student may also enter later in the years once the guidelines of academic bank of credit are finalized. Multiple exits after 1 year, 1 year certificate provision is there in the relevant branch. After 2 years, diploma certification in the relevant branch. Dropout students are also having facility to complete their degree after certain period of time. A student's performance evaluation methodology. Now, continuous evaluation, online, offline, midterm, viva, assignment, quizzes is to be completed in a in-house facility. End term examination, online, offline. Weightage of continuous evaluation is 70% and end term examination is 30%. So more focus is on continuous evaluation. Now teachers training, which is missing every year to be conducted and completed by the individual faculty. In engineering institutions, there is no provision for the new teachers. They immediately after finishing their MTech or PhD, they immediately join at engineering institution and they start teaching. There is no provision for teachers training. Every year to be conducted teachers training, and this is also for the senior teachers also. Every year faculty development, faculty orientation programs must be conducted and completed by individual faculty. Purpose for value education, for academic upgradation, for industrial exposure. Online courses. Percentage inclusion of online courses means MOOCs through recognized national and international agencies. MOOCs courses like NPTEL and other, SWAYAM and other. The courses are self-paced courses and a student would complete these at their home in extended work.
Excuse me, sir, you are not audible.
So I have shown you the slides. So, I am not audible. So I have to repeat it again.
Now audible, sir. Yes, now
Just 2
audible.
minutes
Yes.
before only,
2
sir,
minutes.
you are
Okay.
not audible.
Just I was on which slide? 17th or 18th?
This is, sir, just
Teachers training, I think. No?
yes, sir.
Every year
You
teachers
finished on
training.
online courses, sir.
No.
Online,
Oh,
yes. Yes. Online courses. Actually, yes, please tell me in between so that I can know whether I am connected or not. Or so percentage inclusion of online courses, MOOCs, through recognized national and international agencies, MOOCs, customized courses conducted by in-house faculty in online mode. These courses are self-paced courses and a student would complete these at their home in extended working hours. Now, mode of overall education, pre-recorded lectures can be made available pre-recorded lectures can be made available by the concerned faculty. Offline classes may be held for discussion, doubt solving, and performance evaluation of the students. Assessment of students' assignment one-to-one. Lab procedure can be made available online, and a student may book a slot for execution of experiments in the lab at physical campus premises. As we are going for online education nowadays due to COVID pandemic, so this is the way we can also increase gross enrollment ratio, which is the aim is to increase the GER up to 50%, which is now 26 or 27% in India. So we can go for the extra classes, 2 days theory class, 2 days online classes, and 1 day is full for experimental work. So this way we can reduce the space, infrastructure, teaching load, etc. And we can increase the gross enrollment ratio with the same infrastructure, same classroom, same teachers. So this is the compulsory. Next is the compulsory internship for students in engineering education. This is missing nowadays. Social internship, students are not working for their social causes or not working on regional issues, not working for the problems of the nearby industries. So social internship may be taken in rural areas for solving the real life problems of rural people of the nation and also for improving their quality of life. Industrial internship for learning new skills to enhance the employability. This is also the feature. Now, multidisciplinary courses, as I have told you, engineering plus management, engineering plus science, engineering plus literature. In UK, this kind of multidisciplinary degree programs are dual degree programs are there. The above combination may be explored initially at IITs, NITs, and other reputed universities. Inclusion of Indian scriptures into different technological courses. Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme should be included and employability of technical graduates shall be ensured at the institution level. So these are the some of the features. Now, what is our role? How we can go for implementation of this NEP 2020 at our institute level? What we can plan? Any one of you?
Can we plan skill development programs at reputed institutes compared to the lower reputed institutes?
Yes, please.
Can we plan a skill development workshops for the unreputed institute students? Am I audible?
Other than this?
Making internships compulsory right from second year.
But compared to the 18 lakh students coming out of the colleges, it's difficult for the industry to provide compulsory
First, I will request all the stakeholders, mainly faculty members, to go read the NEP 2020 document carefully. Then make a committee. I am telling you the how we are going for this NEP 2020. We have identified the areas needs to be focused or need to be worked as per the mandate of NEP 2020. Just wait. I will tell you what are the focus we are planning. We have identified the areas for successful implementation of this NEP 2020. Make committees at institute level, at department level first. You have made a committees at your institute level or at your department level or not for successful implementation of NEP 2020. Please tell me. Try to make, request your administration or the management to make a committee for implementation of the NEP 2020. So when we are talking, I am mainly focusing on the technical education. It is also for higher education and school education also. So we have identified certain areas like multiple entry, multiple exit, multi-institutional courses. Number one, this is the one topic. There is a committee and you need to go for the subcommittees also so that specialized people can work for implementation of these areas. This is also a broad area. Multiple entry, multiple exit and multi-institutional courses. And multidisciplinary you can also add. Second is the credit bank system and credit transfer system. This is also important. That National Academic Depository work is in progress, but it is in early stage. So you need to identify how credit bank system can be formulated and how this credit transfer system, suppose you want to do a course in IIT or NIT or IIIT, how your credit will be transferred from that institution. This is still a big challenge. So we need to work on this. Next is the inclusion of ancient traditional science and technology in curriculum, which is also important because our science and we are in ancient Indian time where our science and technology is in very developed stage. So we have to include our ancient, we should feel proud on our ancient traditional science and technology, and there must be, we cannot change or fully revise the curriculum, but at least for a subject, first chapter should be there related to that subject where we were in ancient time in that subject. Now next topic is inclusion of human values in technical education curriculum. Means a good engineer must be a good human being, good social person, so that he can work for, he must have attachment for his society, his village, his state, his nation, and for whole world. So this feeling must be there. We need to develop this inclusion of human values in technical education. It is not necessary a good engineer will be a good human being also. So we need to develop human values in the engineering students. One more thing, that is the nowadays Atmanirbhar Bharat slogan is there. So we should come forward. There is a focus on research, innovation, entrepreneurship in the NEP 2020 also. But Atmanirbhar Bharat and the role of technical institutions in Atmanirbhar Bharat, how we can contribute for making our India Atmanirbhar, making our country Atmanirbhar. So this is the fifth subject. Sixth subject is research. I have clubbed 2-3 things. Research, National Research Foundation, MERU, multi-institutional research universities in technical institutions. You can go for the higher education also. This is the 6th subject which is required to be. We have to plan, we have to, how we can go for, you go for discussion in your department, your institute, you go for a discussion with nearby institutions, then go and discuss with the state authorities, nearby NITs, nearby IITs, R&D organization, industries, so that you will get input after discussion and you can plan for successful implementation of this NEP 2020. This is required for the successful implementation of the NEP 2020. So 6th subject is research, NRF, that is the National Research Foundation. MERU is the multi-institutional research universities. 7th is the technical education in Indian languages. AICT have now started the teaching engineering in 7 or 8 Indian languages. That is also important, but it is not possible in a year or two. So what we can do to start with, suppose in Bilaspur, mostly Hindi speaking belt is Bilaspur is the Hindi speaking students are there. So in first year, some of the teachers who can teach the engineering or first year courses in Hindi also. So they can start teaching in mixed mode, or they can take extra classes for the students who are coming from the village background or who are not good in English. So you can start teaching them in mixed mode, or you can take extra classes in Hindi medium also, or mixed mode. It is up to you. Now, 8th topic is the technical teachers training, which is missing, as I have told you. Orientation courses, refreshers courses, new and old faculty also. These are the some of the things. And one more thing, use of technology in education. Nowadays in COVID pandemic situation, everyone has switched from offline to online. We are also new for this online teaching. So we have to strengthen this online teaching also, and to reduce the burden of offline teaching and to increase the gross enrollment ratio. We can after the COVID pandemic is, when the COVID pandemic is over, we can also think for 2 days theory classes, 2 days online classes, and 1 full day for experiments and because there is a focus on experiential learning in this NEP 2020. So these are the few things that I want to share you now. Is it okay? Any questions you can ask? Because I have completed this slide, I will show you the course content, how you can plan your course curriculum for this engineering program. Is it okay?
Sir, I have a question. When
Yes,
we are
please.
talking about internationalization of education, and at the same time, when we are saying that we have to use multiple languages, don't you think it is going to contradict each other?
Actually, when we are talking about internationalization means what?
Bringing international
Germany and
students on the
China,
campus.
Germany, China, most of the countries, Israel, they are doing their teaching and research in their own languages. And Israel is the top in terms of research. They are doing all their research. So it is basically we are saying that if you are good in English, then international. In Germany also, they have started their batch in German as well as in English. In China is doing the same thing nowadays, keeping in view the internationalization. So there is nothing new. But if you want to stay in your country, most of the students are staying in the country now after engineering education. IIT and NIT students are going abroad. If you want to work in your country or work for your country after graduating, then you can think that there is nothing like that for internationalization. English is compulsory. Nowadays, this language is not a barrier. A lot of translations are there. And how this AICT people are going for this teaching engineering courses in 7 or 8 regional languages. They are translating, they are having softwares, they are translating the courses or subjects in the as per their will of the student. So that is language is not a barrier. Please keep this thing in mind. I have told in a lecture last week, some newspaper people were asking how, same question, how this you can go. It is our mindset that in English we can go for group discussion. We can force in foreign companies who are having offices in India, please go for group discussion and other things also in Hindi or any other regional languages for the engineering students. That is not a barrier. Language is not a barrier. You should know English and other also other languages. In NEP 2020, there is a mandate for to learn 3 languages, 2 Indian language, one you can opt for one foreign language also. And NPTEL and other people are working. NPTEL has translated engineering courses into 22 Indian languages. So that is not a big challenge nowadays. Okay. Is it okay or not? You are not satisfied?
No, sir. My question was little different. What I was
Yeah.
thinking is for NEP, they are trying to bring more international students to India. That is how
Yeah.
I understood minimum. Okay.
So
So
you need not to. I now I am getting your point.
so now when we teach our students in regional languages, for example, in some
that is not mandatory, dear. That is the not a mandatory
I understand
thing.
that,
That
sir.
is
I understand
optional.
that.
That optional. Yes.
I understand that. But the thing is, now when we bring international students from different countries,
Yeah.
it is going to, it's not only our regional language issue, it will be there because in KIT University, KIIT University, we have 1,200 students, international students.
Right.
Many of them are from Eastern, Eastern world population, Western population also. We have bit, but mostly
Right.
African and
Right.
Middle
Right.
East population. So now there is a English barrier for them also. So we try to arrange some classes in to how to learn more better English and all those stuff. However, they say that can we learn the same thing from our seniors who teach us in Syrian language or Egyptian language, all those stuff. So I was talking in that angle, that is there any way this NEP
That
also
you can,
recognizes the need
yes,
of
you
the
can open this option also. That must be optional. Senior students can teach their juniors from foreign countries. That will
absolutely.
help us
That was my
because
kind
we
of
are facing, yes, I am now getting your point. We are facing same problem with some of the students coming from the Asian countries. They are not
yes,
able to understand even English also.
yes, sir. Yes,
So we have to plan special classes, remedial classes, and other
remedial class.
classes.
Yeah, that is what we also do. Thank you
You have to
very much.
plan accordingly, according to the capability of the student, their knowledge, their language issues, all things we have to take care. And that is not compulsory. Please keep this thing in mind. This Indian languages or any language is not a barrier. It is not compulsory. It is just to improve the quality of the student so that he can able to learn the concepts and he can develop for the holistic development, because the research is good. If you think in your own language, then you can able to do good research. Israel people, the Hebrew, they are doing their most of the research in their language. Chinese people are doing their research in their own languages. So that is not a barrier, na?
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you, sir.
So these are the things. And now I will come to the other things. So first, try to make a committee at institute level and department level, and try to identify the areas in which you want to work for the successful. I have pointed out 7, 8 areas, but it is not necessary for you can plan your own areas or own sub areas required to be work for successful implementation of NEP 2020. And now, what are the things that are required for successful implementation of NEP 2020? Other than this, you have to go for academic plan, as I have told you earlier also, short-term plan, medium-term plan, and long-term plan. It is not possible to implement all the features of NEP within a year or two. So you have to identify your short-term plan, identify your medium-term plan, and identify the long-term plan. Now, what kind of plans you need to focus? Academic plan. Academic plan means revisit the curriculum to suit the changing needs of industry, society, and outcome-based education should be the focus. Ensure highest quality of teaching and learning, strengthen the interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary courses. Next is the administrative plan. Administrative plan, everyone will say that we cannot do like this in a year or two. So administrative plan, what infrastructure is required, what infrastructure is needed for next year or next 5 year or next 10 year or next 20 year for implementation of this national education policy. Recruitment and retention of faculty and staff or competent staff, talented and national and international faculty recruitment. And next is the research plan. There are 3: academic plan, administrative plan, and research plan. Research plan means setting up central facility like center of excellence and all these things. So we are moving in 21st century education. Skill should be the main focus, more on making sense of information, sharing and using its information, creativity, critical thinking, communication, innovation, all are the features of 21st century education. And we have to cope up with the academia should cope up with the existing industry 4 revolution. So we should think like this, that the engineering education must be at par with the industrial revolution 4. And their need of the hour is the societal challenges. 2 or more disciplines to integrate their knowledge to go for the interdisciplinary engineering education, as I have told you, to train engineers and students in the interdisciplinary field. And make in India, everywhere there is a thing, make in India. We need not to go for only make in India. Design and manufacture in India. We have to focus on this also. You have to go for design and focus in India. Design and manufacture in India. Now, other than this, what we can do to develop competency in students? Prerequisites for MTech and BTech program. We have to think about the prerequisites like foreign universities. A balance must be maintained between teaching and research. Faculty members must be sent to industry to get the real problems for their project and thesis of the students as well as for their skill upgradation. Social services for all engineering students must be made mandatory. Rural technology center must be there in each engineering institution so that they can go and work for their society or for rural people. System must be created for implementation. Means, as I have telling you, the committees must be constituted in all technical institutions for implementation of NEP 2020. Academic bank of credit for flexibility of choice of subject anywhere in India. You can select any course from IIT, NIT, Triple IT, or anywhere, any other government institution. This flexibility must be there. So we are planning for that also. Industry 4 revolution and Generation G, as I am telling you, curriculum must be flexible and integrated with Industry 4 revolution. Experiential learning, community-based projects, academic collaboration with foreign universities and R&D labs must be there. Disruptive technology, need to focus on disruptive technology research. Need to establish center of excellence in emerging areas of research. A skill development center must be there. Distance learning courses must be promoted at certificate level and diploma level. Now, one more thing that I would like to focus. Ask yourself what you can do for NEP. अपने से खुद से पूछना है what you can do for NEP 2020 for successful implementation of NEP 2020. Continuous improvement opportunities for faculty, grab with both hands. It is a right time to grab this opportunity because we got this national education policy after 34 years. Establish linkage with MERU, multi-educational research universities, exploit the credit transfer feature for student exchange, joint research collaborations and other forms of collaboration. Set up a committee for making comprehensive institute development plan, IDP. Set up a committee for making comprehensive IDP, including all stakeholders. It is not that only faculty members. You please include, for making a committee, you include faculty, staff, student, alumni, industry, R&D organization, nearby R&D organizations, and you need to mentor the nearby technical institutions and nearby schools and colleges also, if you are capable enough. So you have to strategically plan your IDP, Institute Development Plan. Continuous evaluation of the market is also required so that institutions can respond quickly to the forthcoming changes in terms of industry or any other changes. Faculty for emerging areas. You need to have faculty who can teach and go for research in the emerging areas to meet the global challenges. Key challenges for India, emerging areas like AI, data science, robotics, blockchain, virtual reality, a lot of emerging areas are there. Perhaps start in the outreach mode first. Seriously take up the branding and exploiting the brand to attract foreign students, initially from Asian countries and other regional countries to start with, and set up an external students office or foreign students office and foreign student counselor also. Increasing the hands-on component in your course curriculum. Hands-on component. Establish tinkering labs in students' space with 24-hour working access for the students. Not for credit projects. Summer workshop with the help of local artisans or local experts or local artists. Go for the summer workshops. Take help from the local artisans. Establish a program in education technology so that faculty and students can be benefited while going for online education. Evolve a virtual labs. So you need to focus on virtual labs also. You need to strengthen the virtual lab. The government is doing a great job in terms of establishing virtual labs, but much more work is required. Quality virtual, you need to go for the quality virtual lab. Evolve a framework for meaningful assessment methods with deliberations and discussions. And we have to rethink the evaluation process and framework for evaluation process after seeing the COVID pandemic situation. Any diversity will only help the institutions. Pay particular attention to addressing the gender balance, specific interventions to be worked out at faculty level. Hybrid, as I have told, hybrid courses, engineering plus science, engineering plus humanities, engineering plus law, engineering plus management. Try to explore the possibility of such kind of hybrid programs. Undertake a curriculum review to strengthen the humanities content. Time to explore a liberal art component also in engineering degree. Engineering degree major, for example, humanities minor. Such kind of courses we need to develop. Evaluate the master program carefully with respect to the value addition and bring the and keeping in view the job availability in the master market. And we have, or there is a need to strengthen the library. The library in the information has to reinvent itself. In particular, it can provide collaborative spaces and facilitate peer-to-peer learning. We need to strengthen our library, offline or online library. Peer groups need to be exploited for other purposes, such as remedial learning, language, as someone was asking for. Peer faculty groups or student group need to be exploited for other purposes, such as remedial learning, language remedial, help in addressing counseling needs, etc. Student mentors can also help in this regard. Treat alumni as a resource. This is also important. Treat alumni as a resource. They can bring awareness of latest development. You should keep in close contact with your alumni and inform or aware them about the latest developments that you are planning or going to plan for your institute. Create network of alumni to promote student employment, entrepreneurship, mentoring, etc. and for getting funds also. Keep eyes open to local development needs, local industry requirements, local resources, and a periodic meeting with the local industry, local administration and R&D labs is required to a strong connection to work with the local issues, regional issues and national issues. So to sum up, we can show that the policy is very good, but its implementation, we need to work day and night for its successful implementation. Policy is good, but its implementation is the key. Policy should be seen as an opportunity for institutions to look inward and step up to reorganize themselves. Taken together with acts and statutes, because every institute, every IIT, NIT, triple IT, they are bounded by their acts and statutes. Taken together with the acts and statutes, empowering their board of governors, engineering institutions are having their board of governors separate, empowering classes, the policy can a game changer if institutions use it effectively and the government implement it with the vision required. So we need to give something for our institute, our country. And for teaching, for teachers, recruitment of teachers in engineering education or higher education, we have to think over it, how this selection of faculty should take place. There is a need for Indian academic services or not, we have to think over it. These are the things. And the process of policy making is, implementation of NEP. We have to go for the multidisciplinary approach. We need not to go for the technical university, medical university, agriculture. We have to work in a holistic fashion, multi-institutional, multi-institutions or multi-universities should come together and they should start working in clusters. So initially we should go for clustering of our institutions or universities to start the working in this direction of NEP 2020. And there is a need for qualified and skilled faculty. So there is a need for tenure track faculty, and we need to go for the tenure track faculty with handsome emoluments. Otherwise, it is not possible to attract the faculty from abroad. All kind of mindset is there, and there must be facility for mobility of the Indian students from one place to another. Institutions should work in collaboration with each other. So
Sir, I have a
finally,
question.
yeah,
Sir, as you said that going forward, this 4-year BTech, we are going to restructure it that after 1 year, a student gets a certificate, which
yeah.
I believe is going to be equivalent to ITI, ITI
No, there
certificate
is
now.
difference. There is a difference in ITI. ITI is meant for you. We have to see the purpose of establishing ITI, diploma, engineering, all these things. It is this is still a big challenge. Multi-entry, multi-exit is still a big challenge. We have to think for first-year courses. In ITI, the things are different. That ITI people are for the reason for creating or establishing ITIs are for skill development, and for
Correct.
engineering education is for knowledge creation. So things
Exactly.
are and mandate is different for ITI, for diploma and degree. But
Okay.
this is in case of any emergency, a people is not a person or a student is not able to continue his education. So we have to think over it. But it's still a debatable point. How we
Okay.
can plan first year course, how we can plan second year course, that after for completing 1 year certificate course, he or she can be able to get a job, he is employable. So we have to think over it, because in engineering education, it is a continuous 4-year program. And things
Okay.
are first year courses are related to second year, third year, and final year. Still,
Exactly.
discussion is going on. It is a lot of work is required to be done in this area. But
So, sir,
that is
as
a rare situation. It is not for all engineering students. It is for 4, 5, or maximum 10% engineering. So
sir,
we
as
can
you
go
said,
for the bridge courses, and we can plan summer courses for the, suppose a student want to leave the program after 1 year. So we have to plan for bridge courses or summer courses for that student also. Now you are telling something. Please tell me.
yeah, sir. So, sir, I like, based on whatever discussion we had in the previous sessions, the idea that was given was that ITI diplomas, all these are going to merge with engineering institutes.
No. The mandate is different. For opening
Okay.
ITI, you can see the mandate is different. There is no need to merge ITI, diploma, and engineering.
Okay.
What
So
I mean
ITI
to say,
diploma,
if
yeah.
anyone want to leave due to family reason or any
Okay.
hardship, we have to plan the multiple entry and multiple exit. Multiple exit entry and multiple exit. One more feature is there. If suppose you want to discontinue after 1 year, after 2 years, and you are going for a job, after 10 years, you again join the same course and you can complete your degree.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
the main thing. But you
Yes, sir.
cannot merge a ITI diploma with mandate is different for ITI. That is for skill development, and engineering education is for knowledge creation.
Exactly. But I think, sir, this is a very wide, this is a confusion which is spread in many forums, because so far, whatever discussions we are having, specifically, this is the question which I asked to the previous speakers also. And the response was probably ITIs, polytechnics, they will merge with
No,
engineering degree.
This is
Yeah.
not
So
possible.
thanks, sir.
And
Thanks
not
for the
every
clarity. But
institution can go for multiple entry, multiple exit.
yes, sir.
Only limited institutions should be given this kind of, you can say, this kind of opportunity to start this multiple entry, multiple exit. Otherwise, it will be very difficult.
Correct.
Only limited institutions, and if suppose anyone want to discontinue after 1 year or 2 years, he can go to that institute. If some family reasons or any hardship, he do not want to continue the course. In that case only, one more feature is there, that if you are going for or leaving the program after 1 year or 2 year, after 10 or 15 years, you can again complete, which is not there in the existing system. So this is the main aim of this multiple entry, multiple exit. But you cannot go for the combining this ITI with diploma. This is not the mandate of NAP. Every institute, NIT is having different mandate. Government college is having different mandate. IIT is having different mandate. And triple IT is having different mandate. Reason for opening IIT, then NIT, RECs, then triple ITs, their mandate is different. Similarly, for diploma and ITI, things are different.
Okay, so sir, this new education policy, it talks about the higher education institutes, it talks about the 4-year degree, our professional degree courses, technical degree courses and all, but it does not elaborate anything with respect to diploma, with respect to polytechnic diploma. So are we going to have this multiple entry exit, multidisciplinary approach for diploma as well, or they have been kept out and they will be remain as
Lateral
it is?
entry scheme is still there. Diploma
Yeah,
people
lateral
can
entry
go
is
for.
there. Yeah. But this, like, right now we are saying multiple exit. So is that multiple exit is going to be deployed for diploma as well, which is a 3-year course, or
That we
it is
can
only
plan. Not 3-year course. Here in engineering, you are giving diploma 1 year, after 1 year certificate course, after 2 years, and degree course, diploma course after 3 years, plain engineering degree. And after 4 years, you will get honors or minor major like this, as I have told you.
So, sir, as NEP dictates it very clearly that engineering is going forward going to be 3-year course, but it doesn't talk anything about diploma, the diploma which we are offering at polytechnic institutes. So I think that clarity should come in the in NEP itself, because polytechnics are also a huge number
So
of
that
institutes.
clarity, actually, government is asking how to successfully implement the NAP. This implementation of the NAP is the responsibility of all of us, all the stakeholders. We should go for discussion, deliberations, and we should come to some conclusion, and we should submit our proposal. Actually, we are doing this thing from last 1 year. I am working in collaboration with all technical institutions all over the India, and we are getting their feedback, and then we will submit a report to government and ministry. These are the suggestions we have received, and accordingly ministry will take its own decision. So how to implement is a big challenge, but we have to go for discussion, deliberations at our institute level, at our regional level, at state level, and at the country level. Then we will we will get the feedback how to successfully implement the NEP. This multiple entry, we are, I can show you a slide if time permits me. We are, I have told you about 7, 8 topics, no, subtopics for NEP in terms of technical education. So multiple entry, multiple exit, multi-institutions, this is a big challenge nowadays.
Yes, sir.
And we have to go for the brainstorming session all over the country in all technical institutions or institutions of national importance. Then we can, after getting the feedback from all stakeholders, we can plan something. It is still in early stage.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks very much.
Yes, anything else?
Sir,
yes,
good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, this is mandatory for all institutions, all engineering colleges to take multi-entry and multi-exit.
No, it is not possible. Initially, we have to plan for some limited institutions.
Then
It is
parallelly
not
other
possible.
institutions and parallelly other institutions will be continuing in the old format.
No, I am not there is some echo problem is there. Please.
Parallelly, other institutes will be continuing in the old format.
Yeah, whole format. There is no separate format for this multiple entry, multiple exit. But we have to plan to start that multiple entry and multiple exit. We have to plan additional courses. Suppose if a student want to leave a program after 1 year, this engineering program, then we have to plan a special course or bridge course or summer semester for him. So that the percentage will be very limited, 1 or 2%, or maximum 5%, you can say. So we have to plan specialized courses for them. As I am a mechanical engineer, so what I am thinking, suppose if an engineering student in mechanical coming for 4 years program or 3-year program, he want to leave after first year, then we have to plan one additional course for him on welding technology. I am just telling you an example. One course on welding technology, one course on laboratory related to welding technology, so that when he is going for a job, he will get a job in the market. We have to see his employability or her employability also. So we have to go like this. We for only 4-5% student, there is no need to change the whole syllabus or whole curriculum. Is it okay?
Sir, regarding the multiple entry, people want to join the job-oriented courses like computer science and other things. Then there will be a
Right.
flood of people coming here.
It's flexibility is there. I am just as a mechanical engineer, I am telling about the welding technology. You can opt for a computer programming course, or you can go for any other disruptive technology or emerging technology course, AI course, some AI course with laboratory hands-on. It's up to the choice of the student.
Okay,
Okay.
sir, thank you.
Any other question? Because discussion is required. There is nothing like presentation on all these things, because this
Morning, sir.
brainstorming sessions are required at the department level, at the institute level, at the in collaboration with other nearby institutions, so that we can come up to certain conclusions how we can implement the different subtopics of this NEP 2020. Yes, sir.
Sir, good morning.
Yes, please.
Sir, as previously one faculty asked about the diploma institution, I was having doubt, like we have proper structure regarding BTech, that first year certificate, second year diploma, third year plain engineering, fourth year engineering with research. But in diploma courses, there is no clarification. No one has thought, no one has planned anything, because if a student gets admission in diploma institution, simultaneously his friend gets admission in a normal engineering institution. That another friend will get after 2 years a diploma certificate, diploma course, but this person will take 3 years to complete, and that too it is will be not be considered as a graduation or anything else.
Now that is different. Domain is different. Na? That diploma, 3 years diploma is different, and this diploma, you will not get diploma in mechanical engineering or diploma in. We have to plan for that. You have to
Okay.
will be given a certificate course, not a ITI degree. So ITI degree or diploma degree will be different still. And you please think over it that it is for hardly for 4 or 5% students who could not afford their education, who cannot continue their education due to some hardship or due to some family reasons or any other reason.
Okay, sir. Because we had a environment like the system is going to change for all now. If you are thinking about 4 to 5%,
That
then
is
it's
not
okay, sir.
possible. You cannot close all diploma, all ITIs. It is not possible. Or you
Then it's
cannot
okay, sir.
merge
Then we don't
ITI
have.
and diploma with engineering institutions. It is not possible.
Okay, sir.
It
Okay,
is a
sir. Thank
separate
you.
thing. People are getting confused over it, but it is a separate thing. We cannot, we are still facing a lot of problems for multiple entry and multiple exit. We have to plan our curriculum and everything, but it is still a big challenge.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anything else?
Hello.
Sir, I have one more question.
Sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, over last
Sir,
couple
as
of
you said
decades, if we
that,
see,
Yes, yes.
sir,
Could
if
you
we see
repeat
for,
it?
yes, sir, I'm starting again. Sir, if we see for last couple of decades, we
Yeah.
have, I mean, there is a continuous degradation with respect to the respect we have for the technical degrees. I think
Yeah.
probably that is mainly because of degradation of the quality. I mean, earlier an MTech was a very coveted degree. There were hardly one or two persons getting a MTech in a city and all. Now
Right,
there are
right.
so many institutes who are offering MTech, MEs, and you can find MTech, MEs, and B. I think you can find in every household.
Right.
And the quantity is so much, and there is, I mean, these degrees are no more a coveted degree, and same thing is true for even a doctorate now. I mean, people are very easily getting PhD degrees as well, and we are providing all this flexibility. And I have an apprehension that in the name of the flexibility, probably people will find out loopholes, and it might end up like, we are having more and much more number of degrees and diplomas and PhDs, and not having the real quality. So what exactly is the mechanism by which the quality will be ensured by NEP?
वो ऑफलाइन इंटरव्यू होगा यार.
Oh, well, the mechanism, regulatory bodies are there, and but this is an ethical issue. Value education is must. It should come from inside. You should be honest. If I am not able to publish 2 papers, then I will not submit my MTech or PhD thesis. This kind of mindset must be prepared. Huh? Otherwise, we cannot control each and everything. Na? It is difficult because if someone want to copy a paper and do PhD or MTech, then we cannot check. So value education is must. That's why value education, a good engineer should be good human being, an honest human being, good citizen. This should be trained, and it should come from the faculty members also. Because if a faculty is having a moral and ethical value, then he can train his students in that way. Otherwise, it will be difficult. If we are going for promoting the plagiarism and other things, then it will be difficult to teach our students to be honest and be ethical, be moral like this. So we should think like this. A teacher should be the role model for their students.
Yes, sir, that is what ideally should be, but the ground reality is like,
It's
even
up to
faculty
you.
members.
It's up to you, not you. It's up to the faculty and teachers. We have to think like that. If we are not honest, then we cannot say anyone to be honest. And it should
Okay.
come from inside.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Otherwise, in India, in research, we are lacking behind, and the funding. Main reason is funding, but we are not. COVID period, we cannot able to manufacture a concentrator, very small thing. We are importing it from China and other countries.
Yes, sir, exactly, sir.
So this is
Suppose
the
if we
status
see,
of our technical institutions and technical industries. So
yes, sir.
things are not very good. So their government is planning, but we should not keep everything in government hand. We have to plan and implement the things. So what I will request all of you to please do the things regarding implementation of NEP 2020. What you can do at your institute level, you need not to see towards government or any other organization. What you can immediately do at your institute level, you start doing that things. That will be the first step. You make a committee, make different committees, subcommittees, and you start doing and you start implementing the things. You can immediately start. Then ask for funding and other things. Otherwise, you will ask for infrastructure and other things, that will be, you will not be able to implement the things in a right way. So start with doing the things what you can do or what all stakeholders can do at their own level.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, there is a question in chat box.
Yes.
What is the percentage of credits in online digital education, and what are the implementation challenges?
Online digital education means MOOCs and other
Online.
courses. Online
I
means
guess
MOOCs courses, na 20%.
yes.
UGC has issued a new guideline. It is around 40%, I think. Earlier it was 25%. Now up to 40% you can go for online courses. It is permissible as per UGC guidelines. But we in technical institutions, we can suggest 20 to 25% courses by online education. Anything else? Any question?
Another participant asks that why don't we Indians study engineering, education, and research in our own language, and what is the barrier?
That we should think over it. Otherwise, we are, because you can do the research. What we are doing, I am from a Hindi speaking belt. I am telling my first for doing any research, we first think in our own language how to develop this device or this thing. Then we translate in English or from English to Indian languages, and then we think like this. So you can do your research better if you think in your own language or in your mother tongue. Mother tongue means not Hindi. You can think in your own mother language or regional language. So you can do better research in your own mother tongue. Israel, you take the example of Israel, you can see they are doing their research more. They are very good in research. They are leading countries in terms of research. They are doing all their research in their own language. Similarly, Chinese are doing their research in their own language. So Japanese are doing their research in their own language. So nothing is barrier like. And nowadays, as I have told you, translation softwares are available. They will translate Japanese into English, English into Hindi, Hindi into Sanskrit, Sanskrit into Malayalam. How this AICT have started this teaching English engineering in 7 or 8 regional languages? They are having softwares. NPTEL courses are now available in 22 Indian languages. Software is there and they will translate each and everything. So we have to think over it. Language is not a barrier in terms of research or technical education. Right?
Yes, sir. I request participants, we can take 1 or 2 more questions. So if they have any.
Yes, Indrani.
Yes, sir.
One question. Tiwari ji.
Yes, sir.
I welcome you to our college and in this program. One question I want to know.
Yes, sir.
In MNIT Allahabad.
Yes, sir.
Is there any roadmap you have planned for imparting training to teachers who will be handling NEP 2020?
Sir, we are planning. We have actually we have organized now in pandemic. So we have organized several webinars on this series of webinars for the teachers, faculty members from all engineering institutions. But if you are saying that we can plan a workshop, a 1-week workshop or 10 days workshop for faculty members from all engineering institutions, so that we can prepare. If you are planning for a webinar or a course apart from this, then we can go for, we will provide you all kind of help, like in terms of experts and other things, so that you can prepare your roadmap also.
Actually, that is the sole purpose of asking you, because we can plan some orientation workshop kind of thing for our faculty and subordinate staff. to have their confidence, to gain their confidence, because they are the people through whom we'll be implementing NEP 2020. Thank you, Tiwari.
No, okay, sir. Actually, recently we have organized one workshop on virtual labs in collaboration with Triple ITM Gwalior, and that Madhav Institute is there, no? Madhav Institute of Technology in Gwalior, on virtual labs. So we have identified the different areas in which we need to work, and we will keeping the topics accordingly as per the mandate of NEP 2020. And we are organizing workshops and other things all over the country in collaboration with IITs, NITs, triple ITs, technical universities. So if you want to attend these programs, I can share you the links and other things in near future. So your staff, faculty, and students can be benefited.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Indrani, now
Thank you, sir.
I think you can
Yes.
sum up.
Yes, sir. So I thank all the participants for their active participation. And you rightly mentioned, sir, that the new education policy is a positive reimagination of India's existing education. Scientific temper and evidence-based thinking will be inculcated alongside aesthetics and art in it. The new policy aims to take this learning outside of the four walls of a classroom and encourage students to imbibe from the real world. This is where the concept of learning how to learn comes in. There are challenges in implementation, but yes, solutions will be found. I extend my gratitude to the resource person, Dr. Ravi Prakash Tiwari, for sharing his graceful words. All the participants are inspired by your highly sparkling words. Thank you for being part of this program. We are overwhelmed with your presence. It's an honor to have such an experienced and dynamic personality among us. I extend my gratitude for sharing your graceful words with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, welcome. One thing I would like to ask Dr. B.S. Chawla, sir. Sir, is here?
Yeah, please. Yeah,
Sir,
yeah. Please.
I would request you to make a committee at institute level as well as department level for successful implementation of the NEP 2020. That is must, sir. So start with, and what we can do at department level, head of department should take care, and what we can do at institute level, that director or the dean should take care of this. So this is a beginning.
Sure.
Thank you so much, sir. So here we end our first session. The second session will start at 11.